Taylor Swift gets Travis Kelce a free pass on pushing Chiefs coach Andy Reid in the Super Bowl, claims ex-MLB exec David Samson. No one talks about it, no one wants to upset Taylor, it's ridiculous. The Kelce-Reid altercation happened during the first half of the Super Bowl. Kelce was not punished for bumping or yelling at his head coach on Sunday. DailyMail.com provides all the latest international sports news. Travis Kelce got a free pass from discipline after he yelled and pushed Kansas City Chiefs head coach Andy Reid because of Taylor Swift, according to former MLB executive David Samson. Kelce has been harshly criticized for a second-quarter altercation with Reid after he was taken out of the Super Bowl against the 49ers on a play where Chiefs running back Isaiah Pacheco fumbled the ball away. Before San Francisco had started with the ball on offense, Kelce had gotten in the 65-year-old Reid's face and bumped him. Kelce has been under the world's magnifying glass since last September, when he started to publicly date Swift. The 14-time Grammy Award winner attended 13 Chiefs games this season, including all 4 playoff victories. Swift has been shown on the broadcasts of games she has attended more than most players, but still for less than 1% of the Super Bowl telecast. Kelce admitted to privately apologizing at halftime to his head coach, which Reid accepted. The altercation was shrugged off by both as being competitors and trying to do everything possible to win the Super Bowl. The Chiefs won the Super Bowl 25-22, but the court of public opinion has been much tougher on Kelce for shoving his head coach than Reid was. They didn't want to ruffle any feathers. I would have benched him. I would have had him out for one series, Samson said. No one talks about it because no one wants to upset Taylor. It's a joke. It's not as though Kelce is not being treated differently already with all of the ridiculousness surrounding Taylor Swift, Samson added. Samson was the president of the Marlins from 2002 to 2017, as well as an executive vice president with the Expos from 1999 to 2002. The criticism for Kelce has also been harsh online after the altercation, with some saying Kelce's girlfriend, 14-time Grammy Award winner Taylor Swift, should see the behavior as a red flag. Since the Super Bowl, further inappropriate behavior from Kelce, according to some, has taken place. First, he was too drunk to talk at the Chiefs' championship parade on Wednesday. After the fatal shooting at the end of the parade in Kansas City, Kelce was seen smiling for a selfie with a local policeman. Taylor Swift fears saving Travis Kelce from Super Bowl backlash, David Samson. Former MLB executive David Samson believes that Travis Kelce's relationship with Taylor Swift helped prevent him from getting disciplined for his outburst at Chiefs head coach Andy Reid. During the second quarter of Super Bowl 2024, Kelce berated and physically bumped Reid on the sidelines for removing him from the game for a play on which running back Isaiah Pacheco ultimately fumbled. Speaking on the Dan Le Batard show with Stugotz, Samson, the former president of the Marlins and executive vice president of the Expos, said if this happened on a team he presided over, the player would have been punished. Samson said that CBS and the Chiefs didn't want to ruffle any feathers with Swift, and that gave Kelce an out to not face discipline. I would have benched him, Samson said, as covered by Awful Announcing, one series. Le Batard pushed back, saying he didn't think Samson would remove a star player from a championship game. If a baseball player attacks a manager physically during a game, you don't think he's taken out of the game? Samson continued. I'm not out of my mind because you've got a team of 50-plus players who are watching what Travis Kelce did and saying, oh, I guess he can do that. It's not as though Kelce's not being treated differently already with all of the ridiculousness around Taylor Swift. He also spoke about how the Marlins benched star catcher Ivan Pudge Rodriguez during the 2003 regular season when he was an executive with the team. I should have benched him for the game, Samson added. What he did is inexcusable and no one talks about it 'cause no one wants to upset Taylor. It's a joke. After defeating the Niners in the Super Bowl, Reid sidestepped questions about Kelce's outburst. He caught me when I wasn't looking, Reid told ESPN after the game. He didn't know I was going to go that far, then he came over and gave me a hug and said, sorry about that. But he just wants to be on the field and he wants to play, there's nobody I get better than I get him. He's a competitive kid and he loves to play and he makes me feel young, but my balance is terrible. On his New Heights podcast with his brother, longtime Eagles center Jason Kelce, Travis Kelce admitted that he crossed the line. I can't get that fired up to the point where I'm bumping coach and getting him off balance, Travis said. When he stumbled, I was just like, OST, in my head. Kansas City officials hint they asked Taylor Swift not to go to Chiefs Super Bowl parade. Editor's note: this story was published before news broke that there were shots fired at the Kansas City Chiefs parade. Get updates on the ongoing situation here. As Kansas City prepared to fet the Chiefs with their Super Bowl championship parade, city officials hinted that they asked one of the most famous people on earth not to attend. Editor's note: this story was published before news broke that there were shots fired at the Kansas City Chiefs parade. Get updates on the ongoing situation here. As Kansas City prepared to fet the Chiefs with their Super Bowl championship parade, city officials hinted that they asked one of the most famous people on earth not to attend. To be fair, it also might be a little easier for Swift. The music superstar is scheduled to perform in Australia on Friday, February 16, which presents logistical concerns similar to what Swift, 34, had to endure to get from her concert in Tokyo to Las Vegas for the Super Bowl on Sunday, February 11. Then again, she made that happen. Kansas City Mayor Quinton Lucas later clarified that she is, actually, welcome to join the celebration on for Wednesday, February 14. Just had a great chat with it KC Police Chief Graves, Lucas wrote via X on Tuesday, February 13. We're enchanted to welcome everyone to tomorrow's parade, and the women and men of our police department are prepared to keep all safe. As it turns out, Swift did not take Lucas up on the offer. TMZ reported on Wednesday that Swift has already touched down in Australia, with throngs of fans meeting her private jet at around midnight local time. Kelce and his teammates, meanwhile, are busy living it up in the streets of Kansas City. Now, the attention shifts to whether Kelce, also 34, will join Swift for any of her shows in Australia, a country he admitted to wanting to visit last week. Swift's first show of this leg of the tour is at the Melbourne Cricket Ground on Friday, with 85,000 Swifties expected to attend. Her absence stateside didn't stop Chiefs fans from adding a T-Swift flavor to their revelry on Wednesday. Swift's 2015 hit song, Bad Blood, blared on speakers lining the city streets as red-clad fans celebrated and awaited their championship team's arrival. Swift's whereabouts have been a consistent storyline throughout the football season, as she sprinkled in stops to multiple Chiefs games around the country amid her record-shattering Eras tour. Even with no more games to play, don't expect that to end anytime soon. Her post-Super Bowl celebrations with Kelce, his family and teammates have been well documented, and the NFL itself has embraced Swift as one of its own on social media. Travis Kelce sports huge wrestling belt at Chiefs parade as Taylor Swift heads to Australia. Travis Kelce let his macho flag fly at the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl victory parade on Wednesday, rocking an in-your-face wrestling belt while reveling with teammates including Patrick Mahomes. Not present, Travis's girlfriend Taylor Swift, who was already making her way to Australia to continue her Eras tour after cheering him on at the February 11 Super Bowl matchup with the San Francisco 49ers. In pics you can see here, the Chiefs tight end, 34, wore a red Chiefs shirt, a white ball cap, and reflective glasses. His beard was grown out long, and he wrapped the heavy wrestling belt around his waist to emphasize his winning status after the team's 25-22 victory over the 49ers, largely due to a last-second touchdown pass by Patrick. Travis's part in the big game was largely overlooked due to a controversial viral moment during which he seemingly pushed and raged at coach Andy Reid on the field, a moment fellow Super Bowl alum Tom Brady defended, despite sweeping fan disapproval online.
There's always little family issues, and of course, I don't mind seeing it 'cause I was a part of a lot of those things, Tom said during the February 12 episode of his Let's Go with Tom Brady, Larry Fitzgerald and Jim Gray podcast. He later added, Travis is not trying to do any of those things belittle the coach. He's just trying to be fired up and stay in the moment.
Andy himself also brushed off the incident. He keeps me young. He was emotional today, the coach explained during a post-game conference. I have 5 kids, so I get how that goes. The part one love is he loves to play the game and he wants to help his team win. And it's not a selfish thing, that's not what it is. So, as much as he bumps into me, I get after him and we understand that. He just caught me off balance.